everybody, welcome to our PPC Masterclass. I am insanely excited to talk to you about some advanced data points today. In this class, you are going to learn to look at advanced data from multiple sources, put it together to make decisions. So if 2, 3, or 4 different data points are true, what do you do with that information? This is how you do advanced optimization of ads. Most people will just spend some time and look at the conversion rate, the ACoS of the maybe their return on ad spend, and then make spend decisions. And I have to tell you that this is the wrong way to do ads. So a lot of people don't want to hear that. But the reality is most of the ad tools that are out there that tell you that you can set a rule to optimize by ACoS are actually hurting your business, because all they're doing is making you slightly better at what you were doing, but they're not giving you the whole picture. So you have to look at so many different factors to determine how big is the market, how many keywords can I truly optimize for, can I truly rank on? And is the keyword driving keyword ranks? Is it just a keyword that I am wasting money on? Is it a keyword just for profitability? A lot of these things you need to understand how to evaluate, and you do it through the triangulation of some data points that we're going to go through today. So today's advanced PPC workshop, search term insights and recommendations. So at the end of the day, we have a very specific methodology around how to optimize your ads. So we're going to talk about how keywords are still the foundation of everything we do on Amazon. It should be the foundation of the way you think about Amazon. And the way that we set up Data Dive is that master keyword list is what you're curating by adding keywords to it from the other keyword buckets. So from residue and from the outliers buckets, you should be adding keywords to it. And you should be removing keywords that you can't realistically rank for. So you can take off those branded search terms and terms that are not relevant to your product. But once you have that core set of keywords, you're going to use that to write your listing, because writing your listing is imperative for ranking on Amazon. Amazon is going to give you credit for the way you write your listing. So they're going to give you ranking credit, and we call it ranking juice at Data Dive. Now, the more ranking juice you have, the more potential rank you have access to, or the more searches you have access to, and therefore the more sales you can make. So what we're trying to do is take that list, write our listing, then we're going to take that list and we're going to turn on some ad campaigns and target them with ads. Because in order to rank on Amazon, you have to spend money on advertising. It's the pay-to-play method. No one's happy about it, but it's the reality that we live in. So you have to be willing to spend money on ads in order to move your organic ranks up. That is the main lever, and Amazon has admitted it in webinars I've witnessed with my own eyes. And so therefore, when you are running ads, the number one reason you should be running ads is to move those ranks in the right direction. Because as you move your organic ranks up in rank, you start to get the organic impressions, organic clicks, and organic sales. And those are sales that you didn't have to pay for directly. You paid for them indirectly to get there when you ranked, but you get those sales indirectly through the ads and directly organically without paying any money. Now, it's the blend of the sales you make from organic and from paid, from pay-per-click and advertising. It's that blend that gives you a profit margin. So if you pay for 100% of your clicks and sales, it is very difficult, if not impossible, to make money on Amazon. So what we're trying to do is bring that blend to where most of your sales, at least 60, 70% of your sales, are coming from organic ranks. Now, in order to do that, we need to be spending a core amount of money on advertising by turning on campaigns. So we're going to talk about some advanced strategies around ranking and how to blend and how that becomes profit. So we have PPC performance funnels. We're going to talk about how profit is the main driver of what we're trying to do. But a lot of people talk about profitability in terms of margin and in terms of ROI. And what I want you to do is take a mindset shift really quickly and start thinking of it as contribution dollars. Because I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second. I'm going to ask a question to the audience. Okay? Here's a question for you, and I want you to answer this. Would you rather make $50 a day at 30% margin or $500 a day at 12% margin? Do you want $50 a day at 30% or $500 a day at 12%? Go ahead and answer. Okay. Only 2 people out of everyone in the class, everyone here, answered $500. The bottom line is this. For you that answered $50, here's the problem. You can't pay your bills with $50. You can't afford to maintain any type of overhead, pay your employees, pay yourself, right? You have overhead in running this business. So whether it's you running the ads and the business and the campaigns, where are you sitting? You have an office. You have a desk. Even if it's in your home, you have a mortgage, right? How are you paying your bills on $50? So the mindset needs to shift towards contribution dollars. And you have to be willing to accept a smaller margin because this is a pay-to-play business. And so I have employees that it was very hard for me to get this across to them, that they would be happy if they hit a goal. The problem was originally, I think, that we set some bad goals around margins and tacos, right? And so they would be really happy that they accomplished their goal of hitting their tacos target or their margin target. But a product that was making 60 sales a day is now making 8 sales a day, right? And now I'm making, $30 a day instead of $300 a day. But they're happy because they hit their target, and I have to give them a bonus on their paycheck. And my answer to them is, congratulations, I can't afford to pay you anymore, right? You did such a great job that you're fired, right? Because I can't pay you a salary to only make me $30 a day on this product. Now, I've got a business that's done $20 million or more the last 3 years, but my margin has gone down, and I'm struggling with 400 plus SKUs where our SKUs are dying and I'm launching new products, but I'm spinning my wheels. It's like I'm on a hamster wheel. And that's the challenge that you have with Amazon sometimes, that if you don't keep your foot on the gas and accept that lower margin, that product's going to die altogether, and you just have to move on from it. You have to go launch another product, and that's expensive. You have product development costs. You have content costs. You have the ads and the launch costs around launching that product. So if we have a real frank conversation around how you win on Amazon and around what your goals should be, it shouldn't be around margin. Your net, your gross margin should be good. Don't choose products that have a low gross margin because you're going to get it eaten away. But the reality is, once you turn on ads and you try to launch and you realize what the ranking strategy is, then you're going to need to be able to spend money and to have a stomach for the lower net margin. Now, we're going to talk about how to optimize some of those factors so that you can increase your profit percentage, and that's part of what this class is as well. If you think about your primary objective with your ads is to drive organic rank, right? Now we're going to talk about what that is. Now, some campaigns are going to be there just for velocity, like we talked about, but we have to be able to distinguish between those two. And then more importantly is you have to be very efficient. You can't just be spending money to spend money on ads, because every dollar counts and every percentage of your margin matters. So we need to figure out, what is that ad truly doing for our product? as far as profitability, organic ranks, or velocity. And we're going to use some litmus tests and some questions to figure that out. So this is a snapshot. This is what the new audit looks like. And just the top of it, you can kind of see how advertising is a funnel. At the end of the day, every single business is a function of two things: traffic and conversions. If you have a store in the mall, all the people walking past your store that look at your store is your traffic. The people that come in and actually into your store might be the clicks. That is going to be your impressions. And then the people that purchase something are your conversions. And so we have a funnel. We have impressions and we have clicks and we have actual units sold. The same is true if you have a hot dog stand on the side of the road. If you have just a cooler that you're selling hot dogs out of and it looks terrible and it's a dirty cooler, and is someone going to stop and buy your hot dog out of your cooler? Probably not. So now we're talking about how do you increase click-through rate? How do you get more people to stop and ask what you're selling or get interested, walk into your store or up to your hot dog stand? And how do you get people to actually purchase, right? So we have to think about all of these functions as a funnel of traffic and conversions. And your hot dog stand, if you were to get a nice, big, beautiful cart with, shiny metal, big, beautiful signs of a delicious looking hot dog, and then you have some smells of these grilled hot dogs and being made, and you've got the smell coming out. Now you're going to get some people that take notice, and you're going to get some people that stop, some fat people like me probably, that want to buy and eat your hot dogs. That's the difference between a good looking listing that has great content, that understands what the customers want. What do fat people want, right? What does your customer want? Who's your avatar? And then how do you get them to click in? And you need to understand the psychology of your buyer. So we're going to talk about, what that means and how we help you figure that out as well. At the end of the day, though, it's all about your profits. So getting your tacos to be as low of a percentage as possible, because that is your total advertising cost of sales. So if I have a tacos of 10%, that means for every single dollar that I make on revenue, I am spending 10 cents. Now, if my tacos is 30, that's very high. That means for every dollar, I'm spending 30 cents. And what happens is Amazon's already taken 50, 60% or more off the top between their fees and fulfillment fees and FBA, the placement, the storage. You have to think about all of that. So if Amazon's taken the majority share already because they keep increasing their fees, the tacos needs to be as low as possible. So we do want to optimize for tacos, but that's going to require spending more money sometimes. So a lot of people don't understand. And we had Destiny Wish on at Camp Ecom a couple years ago, and she had an actual case study where she had increased spend significantly on a product, and the ACoS went up, but the tacos went down. Now, a lot of people think that that can't be the case, but the reality is that if you're driving the most effective types of ads, even if it costs you more at the ad level, you can drive significant growth in organic ranks and get a lot more organic sales. And so it's that mindset that I keep trying to drive home to you, that effective advertising is actually going to lower your tacos. You're spending more money, but you're going to be making more money too. All right. So the overall SOP is this. Very, very important. Step number one is always to fix your conversion rate. If you don't have conversion, you have nothing. Really, you have to go back to the drawing board. So if I've got a product and I get clicks and I get people on my listing and they're looking at it and they don't buy it, I have to know why they're not buying it. As a matter of fact, a lot of conversion rate fixes need to happen before you even place the order for the product. You need to go through our product development process that we teach you at Seller Systems. This is where we teach you how to use AI to tell you how to make a better product. This is where we teach you how to test your designs and those hypotheses with real audiences. This is how we then take you into how to design a product with AI using Midjourney or Photoshop or a combination of the two, and then test that design with a real audience again before you even order it. So if you're not winning from an SEO standpoint, you can't win from a keywords perspective, which is check number one in Data Dive. How are the competitors getting their sales? Can I do a better job with SEO and ranking? Check two is, can I improve the product? Is there a way to improve the product that people will want it more? Who are the buyers that want it and why do they want it? And then check three is, can I go into AI and design a better looking product with some efficiencies, with more value that people will want more than the best sellers? And if you can't do that before you even place the order, you shouldn't move forward with even ordering the product. So this conversion rate issue you have could have probably been solved before you even ordered the product. But that doesn't happen all the time. And so we need to figure out how we can fix conversion rates. And if we can't, we need to move on from the product, because all we're going to do is light money on fire. So step one is always fix conversion rates. Step two is fix the relevancy and the indexing of the listing. If I'm running ads for a keyword and I didn't write that keyword in my listing, a couple things are going to happen. The first is that my ad is going to cost me a lot more money, because ads look at indexing also. So I will be less likely to get a top of search position if I do not have my relevancy and indexing established. Now, you establish your relevancy and your indexing by the way you write your listing. So we have master classes on writing your listing to maximize rank potential. There's even free resources on the Data Dive YouTube channel for you to go watch, where Anthony walks you through our listing writer and why it's important. Now, if you do not have proper indexing, the top of search is going to be very difficult to achieve, and Amazon's going to charge you a lot more money for that spot, because what they're doing is they're multiplying your required spend in your auction process for that position times your quality score of your ads in your listing. So how good is this performed, right? And if it's bad, it's going to bring it down. And and they're also multiplying it times your indexing or times your relevancy. So in other words, maybe I can spend a lot more to overcome those negatives than my competitors, but you'll notice that even some of your ads that you're getting top of search or better placement, your cost per click has gone down when they've performed better, because you're being rewarded with a better history around those two scores. But Amazon doesn't want someone searching for dog food and have a dog bowl show up. So you need to understand what Amazon wants. Am I in the right subcategory to establish that relevancy? And how do I win that click, or how do I win that position that I want? So if you don't fix conversion and don't fix relevancy, you can't move on to spending more or less money on optimizing your ads. So this is the mandatory SOP for you and your team moving forward. Fix conversion, fix relevancy, and then go spending more or less money. And I'll give you an example here on one of my rank radars for a product I just launched. Now, you can see here that I've got my ads. This is what our keyword tracker looks like in Data Dive. We are the first ones to combine your organic ranks over time, so a heat map look, with your ad performance, with your advertising reports of where your ads are showing up, and your impression rank and impression share. No one has combined these three things. And the reason we built it this way is because this is the way you need to be thinking about optimizing your ads. You need all of the information in order to make the right decisions. And so instead of looking in one report for your keyword ranks and another report for your ad performance, and then figuring out your performance on each keyword, and then looking at another report for your impression ranks, you can have it all together. Now, what is this report showing me around what I need to optimize? Well, step one was optimize my conversions. All of these keywords have conversion issues. I've got clicks, and as a matter of fact, 107 clicks and only 2 sales is pretty abysmal. And I'm struggling with indexing here, right? But all of these below 5% are not very good for the category. And I need to go in and find out, why am I struggling? Is it a price point? Is it a design issue? With this particular product, I can tell you that we've changed the main image 3 times now, and this is over the last 30 days, but the last 2 weeks it has improved. So a lot of these extra sales and clicks have been moving in the right direction. But I should not be spending as much money as I'm spending here moving forward if I don't fix this issue. And you can see right away that there's a correlation between these lower conversion rates and the lower organic ranks. That's very correlated. Now let's take a look at indexing issues. If I see 101, it means I'm not even indexed. It means I'm not on the first 5 pages. So it bounces from indexed to not indexed. I've got indexing issues here. I've got indexing issues here. All of these keywords I need to go check. What is making up these keywords? And did I write my listing effectively to establish relevancy here? So I'm spending money. I've got my feedback loop for my first week of sales. And I need to go back in now and ask myself, why am I struggling to rank for some of these keywords? Why am I struggling? Is it a conversion rate issue, or is it an indexing issue? But either one, I need to go fix those 2 things, right? And then I can go spend more or less money. So having it all together gives me a bunch of targets now and a clear direction of what to do. Now, what are the drivers of click-through rate? So click-through rate is really important, and this is where we're going to start to really get interactive with you guys. Click-through rate is a combination of your relevancy, so the relevancy of your product on that keyword, right, compared to your competitors and what people really want. So relevancy has a few meanings, but when I say it here, if your product is made of plastic and it's showing up on a keyword for a metal version of that product, I guarantee you that that click-through rate is going to be lower on that keyword. If the relevancy of the keyword itself is very generic, if it's like a gift keyword or something for moms, you can rest assured that that relevancy is much lower, right? And there's a wide range of product types on that keyword. Your click-through rate will be lower. It's just the way it is. So how relevant is that keyword, period? How relevant is that keyword to your product? Those 2 things need to be assessed. The content of your listing will drive click-through rate. So this is going to be around your main image usually. If we're talking about clicks, it's from the SERP or search results. So how good is your main image in expressing what you're doing? And then again, that's relevant to your competition. So the relevancy is a check mark. The content needs to be exactly what people are looking for. Is your product image big? Do you have your packaging? Do you have all of the different elements possible that you can have in your main image? What have you tested there? What message are you sending to buyers in your main image? That's really important. And does that message align with who's buying it? Design is really important. So does this design match what the typical buyer of that product wants? So you need to know who's buying it, why they're using it, what they're using it for, and then you need to align that design of that product with that desire. And you want the design that's most likely to get clicks to be the one showing up on the search results. Because if you show a pink version of a product, I guarantee you for most products, the pink one is not going to do as good as maybe the black one, right? And so if you're talking about diaper bags, for example, the gray one is the most popular, then black, and then other colors. So if you have your pink one showing up, you're going to get a lot less clicks. Now, what's interesting is if you do get a click, it might convert higher because people that click on the pink one, they most likely wanted a pink one. But if you can show that you have a pink one available on your black, maybe that person still clicks. So you don't lose out on all the people that want the most popular color. So design has to match intent of the buyer for searching that keyword. This is where buyer intent comes in, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later as well. Next, you have price point. So how is your price compared to the competition around you? Again, that's really relative. And what is someone willing to pay for that type of product? If you've got a product that people can go into Walmart or shop locally and get for $5, $6, even if everyone is selling the same thing for $20 or $25, you're less likely to make sales and conversions and clicks. Finally, the reviews. What is the rating of your product, the perceived quality of your product? Reviews are a big indicator of that. The worse your reviews get, the lower your click-through rate gets.